Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to week 1 of training for the Boston Marathon UK edition. Today is Monday and on the plan so far I have had a bike session and teaching my HIIT class. So previously I used to run sort of 5 to 6 days a week, but I was finding that at the back end of 2020 I wasn't recovering quick enough from my training and then was sort of finding that the enjoyment was being taken away from it. So James and I made a decision at the start of this year that we would strip my running back to 4 days a week and add in some bike sessions as well. Also, I took a 3-week break after the half marathon at the end of last year. So having quite a bit of time off obviously means that it takes a few weeks to get back into that routine. So I knew it was going to be hard at the start, and it was hard at the start of the year. But fortunately I have had that time to build back into the routine and consistency, and it now gives me that good base going into this sort of training block. So with the turbo, we've been doing nothing mad. Indoor cycling and using a turbo is quite new to me, so I've just been getting to grips with it over the last couple of months really. I absolutely loved the rides that we did last summer. I haven't had my bike for long, to be honest, but a group of friends, we would go out on Sunday afternoons after our long runs and just explore the local area, stop off for cake halfway through and just have fun basically. But this time round the bike is trying to sort of build up the volume of my training but without the overload of the running. So it's working really well so far. Today I have already been out with a friend. It was good to get the confidence back on the road bike because I haven't been out since probably my duathlon that I did, my one and only duathlon last year. So that was a good start to the day. I like to do the bike sessions early because especially indoors I get super sweaty, and so I just like to feel fresh when I'm sitting at my desk for the rest of the day or doing whatever I'm doing. And then in the evening have a HIIT class to teach within the running hub. Obviously it's not ideal for me on a Monday if I'm trying to recover from sort of like the weekends sessions. However, I do find that depending on how I'm feeling, I can either push the intensity or I can rein it back in again. Obviously I have that flexibility of when I teach it, but I want to make sure that as a teacher I give the energy to my clients as well. It's a good stopgap I find, and sometimes actually by moving again on a Monday night makes me feel good for my Tuesday run. Normally on a Monday it's sort of like a full body workout. The idea is to get the heart rate raised, get yourself moving, and everyone comes away from it feeling really energetic and positive. So good start to the week so far.
It's Tuesday, which means session time. We are at the famous Woolen Lake for my sessions today, and if you've watched previous videos you'll know it's a place that I frequent often for my sessions. It's relatively flat, it can be very windy, but there's generally people walking around. I mean, right now it's great because there isn't anyone. But you see people, and just by seeing people it gives you that little tiny bit of boost. So that's why I like coming to the lake. At weekends you have to avoid it a little bit. So session so far, we've done a warm-up and drills and just done 2 miles at target half marathon pace, so that's why I'm kind of breathless. I was going to use this strip for 400s, but I've just done the last bit of the first part of the session up here and it's quite windy going out, so I'm just gonna go around this way and just see how it is along the front of the lake. Normally that's quite windy, so I'll just see. 6 by 400 is the next part, and then after that it's 1 mile, just whatever you've got. So the purpose of this session is to try and build some strength. So I personally love shorter intervals, but I know that James has done it on purpose to help get me over those longer stuff. I'm in the same spot, so it probably looks like that I've not done anything, but I've just finished the 6 by 400s and I felt quite good actually, going after the tempo to speed up. Now we've got a 1 mile, and James warned me that with this my legs are probably gonna want to go really quick, but it's gonna basically, I'm gonna try and just get the pace between what the tempo session was, well the tempo part was, and what these 400s. So I'm aiming for about a 6:30 mile here. It's done. I did exactly what James said would happen, and I went off at like 6:10 pace. It felt relatively good, like interval good, until like the last 0.2. I'm just digging in, and I think it was either 6:29 or 6:30 for that mile. So buzzing, oh, sweat in the eye. But I think that I really get my runner's high from doing the sessions that you don't think you can do, and then you do them. I genuinely think now that's where I get my runner's high, because even halfway through the session, the realisation that I could do it, and I believed in myself, which helped me follow through. Because looking at that session, I was like, no way am I going to hit the times, but did it. James, I'm sorry for not believing in you or myself, but it's done. And I'm also really happy because I've done the session early. Tuesdays for me can be quite a busy morning, so I find that I don't actually sometimes get my session done to the afternoon, and I just dread it, but I've done it now. Way.
So a little of behind the scenes as I get ready for our core class. This morning was a bike session, 45 minutes on the turbo, job done. Legs were tired from the intervals, but you know, it's just going through the motions, getting those legs turning. And then tonight, core class. So I have my mat here, and then on the setup, I have my laptop on the stand. We've got a nice ring light, very bright, to make sure that I'm illuminated and ready for my clients. So core class this evening, we've got a strength section, so we've got 5 exercises. So people have had to bring their weights to the session with them, and then we've got a core circuit. So 10 exercises, we're going to do 30 on, 30 off, and then in round 2 we'll repeat them all, but we'll do 40 seconds on, 20 seconds at recovery. So looking forward to that. But I get set up because people will be waiting. It's really nice because we like have a Zoom meeting for it, and it just means that everyone can turn up early like they would to a normal class and have a chat how everyone's day's been, and then at the end people can have a little chit chat as well, and just to have that social interaction, because that's what people really miss with classes. So better get cracking because class is about to start.
Hello, it's Thursday. Now I'm pretty much finished my run. 60 minutes on the plan. But the best thing about today is that it's almost over. Yeah, not a good run today. Nothing in terms of issues on the run, but it's just before I wasn't in the right mindset. I was like, it feels cold outside. I wasn't feeling up for it, and that mindset then spilled over into the run. About 3 miles in, I kind of got over my initial grump, and I was like, right, I'm doing it. And then now I'm like, I'm almost home. It's a good thing. So yeah, it just goes to show, if you've not got the right mindset before you go out, it's going to have an impact on your run. Lesson learned. But today, just about ticking the box. 60 minutes, well, almost complete. There we go, job done, complete, and then a rest day tomorrow. So also just a bit of information, whether you want to know, whether you don't, but this morning I taught strength class and I was wearing like one of my favourite pairs of leggings that James bought me, and I didn't change because otherwise it just creates so much washing. So I kept these leggings on, but they don't have pockets in, so it's like, how am I going to carry my phone? So James lent me his belt. Now I've used belts in the past and they're awful, if I'm being honest. I was like, are you sure it's not going to ride up? James was like, no, it works perfectly for me, but I don't know if it's a female thing. But it just rode up within 2 seconds. I think that's probably what caused part of the little grump in the first part of the run. So, lesson learnt. Make sure, Katie, you're wearing your Fusion leggings or shorts from now on always. And yeah, my outfit's a mismatch. I've got a dark grey long sleeved on, light grey leggings. But oh well. Tick box complete. On to the next one. To recap Saturday's session, as I didn't get much footage of the actual session. Also, we've got Coach James working hard over here.
I'm just tapping on your training plan right now, Kate. Be careful what you say.
I'll try and talk kindly about the session then. But it was 2 lots of 5k at tempo effort, and if you know me well, tempo efforts are not my favourite thing. So I was feeling quite apprehensive before. It's been a week filling me with fear essentially this week. But as always, if you know me well, I will give it a try. I'll always give it my best effort. I roped another one of my clients in, Sammy, into the session. Sorry, but she actually really loved it. I just find that on Saturdays it's good to do sessions because there's less pressure on time, because during the weeks, if you're working, you know, you have to sort of like try and schedule it into your day. Whereas Saturday mornings, you've got, you know, there's not much else going on at the weekends at the moment. So you've got all the time, pretty much all morning, to train. So we did our warm-up and drills, and then we used a 5k loop up at Willen Lake. I put up there quite a lot this week. And the idea for the first loop was to go at around 7-minute mile pace, which we did, and we got slightly quicker throughout. I then switched trainers and I put on the Nike Vaporfly Next Percents. James did this session a few weeks ago and he did exactly the same thing, changed the shoes over. Just, I don't know, just to give yourself a bit of a mental boost, a mental level up. And then the second set was then obviously meant to be that tiny bit quicker if we could. Having someone to work with really helped. Sammy was pushing the pace on, so we did like about a 6:50, a 6:40, and then it was a 6:30 something. The shoes really helped me, if I'm being honest. It was just the legs felt quite good. I didn't feel like I was fatiguing too much, and just felt really strong. So obviously my lungs were a bit like hello at the end, but an enjoyable session. And I've said that about both of these sessions this week now, that I quite enjoyed them.
I wish you'd remember that before whinging about.
But job done, and then coffee from the cafe afterwards. So great start to the weekend.
Good morning, it's Sunday and it's long run day. 18 miles on the plan. Genuinely haven't run this far, I think, since the New York Marathon in November of 2019. So for the last few weeks, Naomi and I have been doing laps, and we found that it's worked really well. Either sort of, I think, 4 or 5 mile loops, and we've been doing them a number of times. However, today we have planned, well, Naomi has planned, shall I say, like a big old loop. So I have my hydration vest with me. It's a Salomon one. I used it for my ultra last year. And it just works great because it means I can hold my keys, my phone, and also my, I've got some water as well and some gels. So at the moment I've just been using Wiggle, strawberry split flavour energy gel. We did a video on trying different gels, and a few clients, after the back of watching us do the Wiggle ones, tried to buy them, but the strawberry flavour apparently was out of stock. So not that we had that many people that watched the videos and sort of made the stock go out of stock, but they just were. But these are my last 2. So I think at the moment, I think next I'm going to move on to Talk after doing the taste tests. And I have used them before, so I'm going to switch. Must have to order some more later. But yeah, let's switch onto Talk. So yeah, just waiting for Naomi. She's planned the route via Garmin Connect, and then we're going to send it to my watch because I've got a maps feature, and it just means that we can not get lost. With my geography, we probably will get lost at some point, but I'll update you on how the run goes. Nine miles in, Naomi's just checking the map because we're at a point where there's a busy road down here, and Naomi feels like we've got to cross a field at some point. So we're just checking the map to make sure that we're not going to go onto the main roads, but all feeling good so far, aren't we?
We go across the road.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Not along it, across.
Oh, across. Perfect. Let's do it.
And
Naomi plotted the route today, I noticed that we were potentially going past a venue that I'd seen, and the route has actually taken us through, so we get to go and see it. Wedding venue hunting and long running at the same time. We are 16 miles in, woo! And been a lovely route actually. It's been really good. Just coming up to the final few miles, both saying that the hips are starting to creak a little bit and tell us that we've run 16 miles, but only 2 to go. We're still feeling comfortable in terms of pace and stuff. It's obviously just the body now. Just need to get used to being on our feet for this long, but yeah, less than 2 miles to go. We got it, woo woo!
So there we go, that's the end of week 1 and a really strong week to the start of marathon training. Ended up doing 45 miles for the week, which is my biggest mileage week since the start of the year, so that's a really good positive. And other takeaways from the week are that, you know, don't be too scared about your training plan. You know, have that nerves, but I should now hopefully just every time that I see a session think about how I can attack it rather than being nervous about it. I managed to tick box everything I think off my training plan, apart from James says the stretching I could do a little bit more of. But my comeback to that is that I stretch after every single class that I teach for my clients. So it's not like I do nothing at all, but maybe that is something that I can focus on for the week ahead and just continue what I'm doing. Liking the look of the week upcoming. The sun is meant to be shining for my intervals on Tuesday, and then it's due to be raining. So we'll see how that goes, but let's keep that positivity going into week 2. So thanks for watching. Please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next week.